Alrighty, we have Madison Harms and Elizabeth Junkie with us. Questions for them?
First of all, let's start with both of you. Obviously, the outcome wasn't what you wanted, but how fun was it to play in front of a crowd like that?
It was super fun, just coming out behind the curtains and seeing how many people were there and how many people we had there to support us made it like just a different level.
I definitely agree. Walking out and just seeing the student section, it just gives me chills thinking about. We talk about our Coyote fans and the following that we have and being at home and how fun it is to play here, and that's why.
And Elizabeth, in that first set, it seemed like, they were getting just about anything by you guys. It seemed like their kind of height and their power kind of outmatched you guys a little bit early on. How did you guys try and adjust to what they were presenting at the net?
I think we were just making better decisions on where we were swinging and I think B kind of distributed the ball a little bit better.
And Madison, after that second set, you guys go back into the locker room. What was the message to you guys to, you're down 2 sets? How do you try and rally around each other to try and get yourselves back into the match?
We just knew that we needed to continue to have confidence and fight in ourselves, that we just needed to play better in the middle of the match, and we're right there with them, and I think we showed that in the last set.
And for both of you, what are some of the things you liked from tonight, and what are some of the things that you'd like to work on as the season gets underway?
I think kind of the obvious is playing a Final Four team. Like, that's really, really cool. And an opportunity that not a lot of teams have. So I think bringing that into just preparation and to playing a team like that, I think gives us confidence in a way. And also, I think playing as a team, like this is a new group compared to last year and the last couple of years. So just playing together and getting experience has helped a lot.
Yeah, I really think we can learn a lot from that match, our strengths, our weaknesses, and we can build from practice now, and we know our potential is really high, so we can just keep working together and as a team.
And last question for both of you is just, what did you learn about yourselves and the team through a match like tonight?
I think we have a lot of really good potential. I think seeing where we were even just from our exhibition match to tonight, and that's not even a full week, I'm really excited to see what the season has to hold.
Yeah, I think we learned that everyone out there and on the bench can do really special things for us. There are several people that came in, and there's also a lot of changes that were made throughout the match. So I think we know that as long as we stay calm, we can just make a switch when we need it.
Williamson, go ahead and give us an opening comment.
First, what an incredible atmosphere. We were hoping for obviously a good turnout, being early on in school, getting a lot of the students here, and obviously our Coyote faithful in the SCSC. And I think obviously bringing a Final Four team and a team that's ranked right now 4 in the country is obviously exciting for not only us but our fans. So I was amazed at the atmosphere, the environment, and I just really can't thank everybody enough for coming out and showing that support. But seeing and hearing the students get into it and the excitement that was brought out with good plays by us was incredible. And a couple times I actually just caught myself smiling just because of how amazing that was. From the volleyball portion, I think the thing that I'm really happy about is I don't think our team ever backed off. We actually talked about going into this match that competing was one of the main focuses that we needed to have, and I thought our team did that really well. I never felt like there was that things were being done out of fear, and actually I think in some ways we got better as the match went on and actually more confident and more we took a few more risks, and that paid off. So I think today is a really good example, I think, of how our team can grow, get better as the match goes on, obviously compete at a high level, but I think it just shows, again, the potential that this team has. There's quite a few plays that I think we'd all want to go back and replay, where we had opportunities and we didn't quite capitalize on them, whether it was a few chaos plays, a few free balls that we felt like we should have gotten a cleaner look on offensively. But that's really what match one is. And some of it is learning and getting better and making sure that we are we put ourselves in a position to execute those later on down the road, and hopefully, obviously, right away tomorrow. So I think even though we're 0-1 right now and weren't able to, pull off an upset, I'm very happy with what our team showed and what that potential is that we were able to see from our team on the court tonight.
And Coach, what did you see from some of the newcomers or the players who kind of moved into different positions like Evelyn tonight? Do you feel like they kind of stepped up in a big moment here?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, Evelyn struggled a little bit, and, she knows it, the stats show it, but I don't think it was from a lack of effort or trying, or I think even being afraid. It was just, it's probably the biggest block she's seen in her time here. So I think, again, if we were to play that match again, I think she would actually probably learn a lot from tonight and be better, but she struggled a little bit. But the nice thing is we had other people that were able to come in. Maddie came in and took some good swings, gave ourselves a little bit of a spark there. I thought that Cameron and Elena in the back row, service-wise, we struggled. I mean, I don't think that's any secret. Just the pace of the serve was a little bit difficult, but I thought that Elena and Cameron stayed calm. I thought they stayed very confident through it and made some big defensive plays. We actually switched our backcourt a little bit, put Cameron in left back, Lolo in middle back, because Lolo wasn't getting many opportunities. I think they actually went after Cameron a little bit more again. She took care of those balls. So, I think that there's some really good things to see. Defensively, I don't think the numbers fully show, but, I was happy to see kind of, again, the evolution of our defense as the match went on.
Yeah, it seemed like as the match went on, you guys got a lot more confident, especially, seeing those big swings coming at you. Do you feel like, especially between the second and third sets, they kind of settled in after maybe some early first match jitters?
I actually don't fully feel that there was defensively anyway jitters. I think they executed at a high level. We had a certain defensive scheme that we actually went away from after set one, and it started to put us into a better position against their pin attackers a little bit more. But I just felt like they got more comfortable with just what it looked like. Again, I don't think it was nerves necessarily affecting them set 1 and 2. I think it was just more of the more you watch somebody, the more you start to pick up tendencies, and then you can get a little bit more of a jump on the ball. But I also think our block did better as the match went on and getting some touches, which obviously put our defense into a position to defend at a higher level.
And talk about, you kind of mentioned in your opening statement, but just the atmosphere tonight to have a record-setting crowd and just seeing Coyote Nation kind of grow every year. Just talk a little bit more about that and how cool it was to see match one, that kind of atmosphere.
Yeah, well, I hope I never stop getting asked that question, because that means that we're continuing to grow. And I feel like every year that has come up and these big matches just continue. We talk about the crowd and we talk about the environment and we talk about, a record-setting crowd. And we've now reset that record multiple times. And again, I hope I don't ever stop talking about that. I hope I don't ever have to, because it means we're consistently getting new people in the building and getting them back, and it makes a difference. Our players talked about it, and obviously, Junkie and Harms talked about it here, but we talked about it in the locker room, and we knew that we were going to expect a big crowd. I didn't know what it would be, but how incredible. I mean, every student athlete wants that experience. So for us to be able to give that to them at the University of South Dakota, in the SCSE, in Vermillion, is just absolutely incredible. And I can't say enough about it, but obviously our Kyle faithful, our season ticket holders, our fans that come all those games are obviously great, but that student section, they were here, filled that bleacher seating an hour before our match started, and they just kept coming in and kept coming in, and that is something that I hope we can continue. I hope that we can continue to give that great environment for them, but they got into it, and that's something that I hope they enjoyed it, because I would love to be a part of that. Sometimes I feel like I want to be up there, being a part of that with them. So, I really can't say enough about our fans, but really that student section came out in full force tonight, and I hope we can see that again, not only this weekend, but in the future.
And you've talked about it before, even before this season, about how you guys went from just playing in the little corner of the dome to having now almost 3,000 fans showing up. Do you ever kind of get a little sentimental looking back on, how this team and this program has grown in your time here?
Absolutely. I think it's in the coaching profession. I think you you don't find as many people staying in one place for as long as I have. But because I have, I've been able to see the growth. I've been able to see the changes, and I've been a small part of it, but to see, and I think even our alumni coming back and, they could have that, salty attitude of like, I didn't get that, but all we ever get from them is how cool that the program is where it is right now. And we are so happy that that our student athletes now get to be a part of it. So, yes, I absolutely do. I think I've got more sentimental the older I've gotten, but it really is. It's incredible. And obviously this place is great for volleyball. It's loud. You can create such a great atmosphere. I think you can create a great atmosphere of 500 people. So you put almost 3,000 in here, and it's absolutely incredible. There were times our players couldn't hear me because it was so loud, and honestly, I'd rather take that.
And my last question for you is, what did you learn about your group tonight that you guys can take forward into tomorrow, Sunday, and into the rest of the year?
I think we can be really tough. And, I think that there are some question marks of just some of the lack of experience with a few of those positions that we have right now. Obviously, Bryn's had filled in that middle position. I thought she did some really good things. She didn't necessarily offensively produce, I think, the way that she would have liked, but she was up there. She had some great shots. She made them have to play defense. She made them have to defend her at a high level. Even though Evelyn didn't necessarily execute the way she wanted to, she was flying. She's up there. She may be small in some people's minds, but she has the ability to play at a really high level, and I think she's going to be able to smooth that out. But overall, we have depth. We have different people that can do it. We can rely on different people in different moments. Stats aren't everything, but in the second set, we hit 321. And 321 against a team like Lousiville is really, really good. Really, set two came down to serve and pass. And that's kind of where the big difference was in that set. But we have the ability to score the ball. And obviously with some of our returners, that's got to be a part of their identity, but I think we have other people that can do it as well. So I think we can be tough. I think we can compete at a really high level. I don't think we can ever count ourselves out, or anyone can ever count us out, and that's a good feeling going into the rest of the season.
And then you mentioned that this was a high energy match, big crowd, top 5 team. How big of a boost is that in the new season?
So we talked about it before the match in our scouting report of just there's a lot of teams that are going to shy away from playing matches like this, and some programs that don't necessarily want a Lousiville on their schedule. But for us, we want to be challenged. We want to have those opportunities to compete against the best. One thing I say every single year is the best teams show you what you are good at and what you're not good at, and that as coaches allows us then to go back and make some of those adjustments and start to figure out how we can maybe offset some of those things. But I think it's a huge confidence boost for our players, especially in that set 3, to see how close we can get to a team like that. And obviously being at home helps. I'm not going to sugarcoat that one, but how well we can play against a team like that, because if we can play with a team like that, we're going to have good opportunities to compete against people going forward throughout the rest of the preseason, but then especially into conference.